opals is also related to this idea of cursed. It has this kind of potential to kind of bring bad luck. So, and the Western name of Lightning Ridge actually dates back from 1902, when the first white people settled as sheep farmers. And it's the story goes that actually this sheep farmer, along with his 200 sheep, got hit by lightning and got killed. So, and when I was there, I also met up, this is what it looks like. I met up with Joanne, who is a Yulawarre woman from this area. And she kind of makes paintings and stuff around those old stories, the song lines. And she told me that this was something that people of the time, they've always known that this place is a place that you don't stay in, you sort of pass through it and you go with the different seasons. And she said that people were also aware of this strange electrical sort of charge from the grounds. So their story of movement that goes through the country, it also connects with the origin of opals. So she told me about a song line that tells how the Rainbow Serpent, which is their kind of strongest spirit, if you like, that created Earth. And this Rainbow Serpent, it moves from waterhole to waterhole in this area, or actually throughout Australia. And as it moves from one waterhole to the other, sort of the scale comes off its body and it becomes opals. And this land is therefore closely connected to their strongest spirit, which is the Rainbow Serpent. So also this idea of opals has never really been on the agenda for the people of that land, the Yulawarre people. They knew they were there, and actually early on you could find scattered opals quite across that country. And I think also the story also tells about this kind of sharing or access to waterholes, because they are really important for people and animal alike. And part of the story also says that if you disrespect any water, the spirit, the Rainbow Serpent, will become enraged and natural disasters will follow, such as cyclones or fires or floodings. So again, the opal is connected to spiritual forces and to life and to death and to water. So this is different opals. So the structure of the opal, which can produce this sort of iridescent color and fire, is also very fragile. And I was told by a paleontologist while I was there, who I got to know, called Jenny Bramwell, that when some of the opals they pick out from the caves, when they are mining for opals or looking for opals, they actually crack when they kind of meet the sunlight. And this is because opal itself, especially the Australian opal, because they don't come from volcanoes, they're more like this sort of sedimentary sort of stone. And they are also these kind of black opals that you only can find in Lightning Ridge in Wollongula. And let's go see so I don't lose my thread here. Yeah, so they have this sort of color of oops, now I'm jumping forward. So they have this kind of backdrop of a dark sort of back that gives them this sort of iridescent color. And the idea of this iron base might also be one of the connections why there is so much sort of a dry lightning and electricity from the ground and electrical storms that can surround this area. So the geology of opals are that they are more like a snowflake than a crystal, and they are actually called mineraloids. They need water and electricity to form. And Australian opals, they actually contain 3 to 21% of water. And this is like what I found so fascinating about them as well, that this water, ancient water of like almost 150 million years, is sort of encapsulated in those little gemstones. And they're sort of trapped inside. And that what makes them so mutable in the same way. Well, that's how I see it anyway. This is coming from a personal sort of, it's not any scientific sort of grounding in this per se. And in this sort of sedimentary sort of bedrock, they also move. So they have shifted. And those two pictures that you see here, you can also see the different lights in this kind of opals. But like when they move and shift, they actually also take over other bodies. So they, in this area of Wollongong, is also really super rich in dinosaur fossils. So this is another sort of side to it, that the opals themselves, they kind of erase the kind of internal structure of the dinosaur fossils and replace it with itself. So there is this kind of massive kind of findings of dinosaur fossils that are opalized. So that's also something that I think it kind of has this sort of shape-shifting, strange thing about them. So they can actually, so when I was there, I also found this particular little, it's like a little jawbone. And like the dinosaurs, the water trapped inside the opals is also ancient from a primordial past. So that was probably super quick because I got so stressed that nothing was going to work. But so these opals, this particular piece, I actually made into a 3D scan of making it sort of seen how it could sort of appear through the opal. Yeah, so this piece of work that you see on me as well, this sort of the light of the opal, is kind of it's the artwork itself, but displayed in different ways. And the light that is passing through the opal is also passing through this ancient water. And effectively, we are actually, this is how I see it, we are experiencing two vast time zones that are brought together live and simultaneously in the space. So it sort of becomes a strange time machine. And I guess that's sort of like, that's sort of the search that, and it's also this kind of way of like, or what I've said about the being the ineffable. How can you talk about something that is, if it's not archaeology, if it's not, it's sort of tracing back and forth, but you can also experiencing it. And I think as well, like when we're looking at the internal structure of this opal, which I'm going to show you, that I have here. It's really tiny, but this is what you actually see, the little picture. So you see its internal sort of structure through this sort of light processing through every fractal, and it sort of displays this sort of ancient water and ancient body through both place and stone at the same time. So yeah, I guess that was my 2 cents on water and stones. But I'm sorry I got so stressed about this. I feel like a little bit like a fauna, but yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you, and I hope it made some sort of sense. Obviously it's better to be experienced in real life than on the digital. That also kind of carries a lot of minerals inside it for us to kind of be able to do this. The computers themselves. Yeah, so that's all I have to share. I thank you for listening to my blabber. Thanks.
Thank you, Linda. Absolutely stunning, and I do agree. It would be so lovely to be able to pick them up and to hold them somehow.